In this problem, I'm going to use the graphing tool in my math lab in order to graph the function g of x equals 3 times the quantity x plus 4 raised to the second power. So I start by clicking on the magnifying glass over here in order to open up that screen and get to the graphing tool. Okay, so here's a view of the graphing tool, and what I did was I went through and I did the problem. I can't really make it function within this video software, but I can show you screen by screen what I did. So I just took a screenshot every time I did something. So at this point I have just opened up this graphing tool and I'm about to click on my parabola tool because I know I want to graph g of x equals 3 times x plus 4 raised to the second power. So click on that graphing tool and let's see what we get then. Okay, I've gone into a little bit too much detail here. This is what the button looks like when it's depressed. All right, let's go to the next screen. Okay, once I clicked on the parabola tool, which I just did, and I pressed onto the screen. You can click on the screen with your mouse. If you're using an iPad or an iPhone or I'm assuming any other tablet, you can just tap with your finger there and it'll just place a standard parabola. I don't think it really matters where on the screen you tap. It's going to place that standard parabola right here. Okay, so now that I've got that, I have to look over to here. It's going to open up this. Do we have any vertical stretching or shrinking? Do we have any horizontal stretching or shrinking? Vertical shift or horizontal shift? So what do we have? Well, our function that we're using is, or that we're graphing, and I'm going to write this a little bigger because that's a little difficult to read, 3 times the quantity x plus 4 squared. So the 3 is a vertical stretch because it's multiplying and it's on the outside, which makes it vertical. If it were 3x plus 4 with the 3 inside and then squared, this would be a horizontal stretch. So just keep that in mind. All right, so we've got the 3 out there, which is a vertical stretch, so I'm going to change that 1 into a 3. Then I have a plus 4 over here, which is a horizontal shift. Okay, because it's inside, that makes it horizontal. It's added, which means it's a horizontal shift of 4 units to the left. The horizontal is always the opposite pretty much of what you would think. You would think plus means go to the right and negative means go to the left. And it does not work that way. It works exactly the opposite. Plus means go left, minus means go to the right. All right? So this is a plus 4, but what we're really going to do is off to the side, I'm going to say x plus 4, which is my inside of that set of parentheses, set it equal to 0, and I solve for x, I get x equals negative 4. So my horizontal shift then becomes a minus 4. So watch out for this. It's a little tricky, and how are you supposed to know? I'm not really sure because there doesn't seem to be any kind of direction here. So what I did was I just tried the 4 and it moved the parabola over to here. And I said, oh no, that's not what I want. So then I changed it to a minus 4 and then it moved it where I wanted. So that's how that turned out. All right, let's take a look at what happens when we enter those numbers in. Okay, so now I've got my numbers entered in, and you can see that the parabola has moved over. So now we've got it over here, shifted 4 units to the left, and you can see it's thinner than it was originally. All right, So now I'm going to check my answer. I have to close that window and I click on, I don't know, whatever it was. I don't think it was save. I think there was something underneath there. Oh, okay. So, sorry about the dead air there for a second. Okay, so now, once I click save, now it just comes to this screen, and now, oh, here we go. Now I can click check answer to see if that's the correct answer. All right. Look at that, I got the right answer. Okie dokie. So that's how you work with that graphing tool in my math lab. And as we go on with the semester, we're going to see logarithmic and exponential functions, and you have to graph an asymptote. And we'll see that with rational functions as well. So the asymptotes get a little tricky, and you're going to need to change from a solid line to a dotted line. That's part of that. So I'll make another video for that when that comes up. And have a good night.